Hey guys, Space Marine 658 here. It's time for update number 7 for Rigged. It's been a little while since our update due to midterms at my school and, the new highlight system taking a little longer to implement than I had expected. But let's get into this update's changes. Alright. Since the last time I've released an update video, I've added quite a bit. So I've got this neon light over here. Right now it just kind of flickers on and off. Eventually I hope to add ability to flicker it on and then have it turn off or something like that. But yeah, it looks pretty good if I do say so myself. It's just like a sort of temporary backdrop sign. I do like the neon itself. Eventually I'll have a more official looking sign to kind of just get me an idea of what I need to do and get the material up and running in the game. And then I adjust some of the bloom settings in the AA method so that it looks a little nicer from further away. Because before it was just kind of like too crisp for what a neon sign is. It didn't give it enough of that blurred edge. It's still not perfect, but it's definitely a bit better than what it was before. But yeah, I've also done some block out and some more lighting. To kind of give the world a little more feeling to it. Still a lot more left to do. Still haven't gotten anything fully finished and fleshed out, but definitely making a lot of progress. I changed the clock up there, so eventually I don't know exactly what I want to do with the date system, but eventually I'll probably have it some kind of watch texture up there. That'll give you the date and the time. For right now, it's just sort of clock counter up there. It counts pretty quickly right now, but eventually it'll be slowed down a little bit. Alright. Up next, and then we've got the highlight system. So I've been working a lot on this because it's a very complicated system. Essentially what it does is it looks at the pixel outline of the static mesh of the object, and then goes a few pixels out beyond that, and kind of gives it an overlay. And there's still a few bugs with it, like that right there, how it'll still have that highlighted even though it shouldn't. That's mostly just because the items are so close together, it drags it over it and thinks it's still seeing the other item. And then down at the bottom you can see I've got that where it says, press F to open door. It'll be very contextual depending on what you're looking at. You'll be able to, have little instructions down there in case, you've forgotten what you need to do with that. Now that'll be turn offable. You'll be able to turn that off in the settings. Depending on, if you want that to show up or not, as will the highlight system. That'll all be optional. Now, that'll be on by default for both of those just because they look really nice and all that. But, all right. And then, just want to make sure I go over everything here. And then up next, I added a door/keycard system. So what this does is I can come over here and say, does this door require a key? If so, what's the number required? So let's say it's 10. I can go to this key card and say, hey, if I want the player to pick this up, this only works for door 10. So the player can come over here, find the key card, pick it up, then come over here and open the door. See how it doesn't work. Alright, sorry about that. It looks like I thought I had picked it up, but I hadn't actually stepped all the way on it to pick it up. Eventually I'll add like a UI sound for that whenever, you step on it. But yeah, without that, so if I go back and reset it, without having picked that key up, it won't let me open the door. But if I go back here and then pick it up, make sure I got it, there we go, and bam, got it. You'll eventually be able to actually pick that up with your hand. I just had it walk over, that way it's a little simpler with testing the keycard system. But alright, so next week it looks like I'm gonna probably be working on more block out and some lighting changes, kind of dealing with the internal lighting and figuring out the layout of this building. And then my hope is to kind of work on the gunplay system a bit too, kind of like figure out what all I want to do with that. The goal is to kind of have it be semi-realistic, so it'll have systems like overheating, maintenance, and jamming, but they won't be as punishing where, in real life if you overheat your gun too much, it can destroy the gun. With this, you'll actually be able to fire even though you're overheated, but the more heat that builds up in it, up to a certain extent where it'll kind of cap out the heat, it will cause you to have to deal with more and more maintenance. So your maintenance will build up essentially. And if too much maintenance builds up, you'll have to actually like go in and fix it, because your gun will still work, but it'll jam more often, and it's going to shoot way all over the place. Like instead of if there was no maintenance required, your gun was clean, perfect, it'd shoot pretty accurate, pretty on target. There's a little bit of variance for wind and such, but nothing too crazy. But if it was fully damaged and overheated, you're going to be, spraying bullets left and right. Now, you're still going to be, a cone shape in the right area. But instead of being, dead on, hit the target perfectly from 100 meters, you're probably going to struggle even at 50 meters or so. It's going to be spraying in that direction that's going to get you the hits that you need. But yeah, and then also jamming will require a little bit of time to do. And, doing that when you're surrounded by zombies isn't exactly going to be easy. So you'd probably have to go hide somewhere, tuck into a corner and try and work on it. Or if your skill is up high enough, you might be able to jam it or unjam it quite quickly in the field. That'll be a sort of skill-based thing, When you practice with the gun a lot, you'll be a little better at it. But I believe that's everything for this week. If you liked the video, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe if you haven't already. Hopefully we'll have a lot more videos to come, and I'm getting pretty excited about it. So I will see you guys next time. Bye.